Today, talking about Lizzo. The title's probably going to say that Lizzo is overrated, just like Olivia Rodrigo is overrated. But I don't have the same points for not liking Lizzo as I do Olivia Rodrigo. Her music is just okay. It's mid at best, generic. I don't really have anything horrible to say about it, but I don't have anything great to say about it either. I think it's just okay. But it's what she does away from the microphone. Or I guess I should say what she does away from the recording booth that really gets to me, okay? And where do we even begin? Well, let's talk about one of the first things that she got controversied for, and that was her fat acceptance activism. Now, we all know that being overweight has some pretty bad health commodities alongside of it, me included. Like, I'm overweight. I know I'm overweight. I know it's bad for my health. I don't condone people getting fat too. But Lizzo, though, she thinks it's the healthiest thing in the world. She doesn't care. You know why? Because she has money and she has fame. Whatever she says, people are going to support her in hopes that maybe they'll get some royalties from her, or in hopes that they'll maybe be popular one day too. And what she's and you know what? She's not the only one that does this. She's not the only one that is part of this being stupid movement. But she is one of the bigger, literally and figuratively, pieces of the puzzle, as I should say. And it really pisses me off. Being fat is not good for your health. I always say love who you are, but work to change it, as I should say. Work to change yourself, but love yourself at every step of the way. Lizzo's not the one you'd be listening to in that situation. Listen to some doctors, okay? They know what they're talking about. But then there's some other stuff, and let's go back to her. A few weeks ago, she made a speech when she accepted a VMA award. I might clip it here in this video, but I also might get copyright struck. I probably won't get copyright struck if I clip it. But the fucking scene looks straight out of Idiocracy. Like, she's screaming, she's got the award in her hand, she's like, ah! She's like, wah! She's got the award pulling up on her, in her hand. And meanwhile, all these other people in the background, yeah! Woo! Let's do this! Woo! She's so cool! It's all raunchy and everything. If you've seen the movie Idiocracy, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about this scene. It's straight out of the movie! I didn't think about it. I read it on the comments and then I actually watched the speech and it blew my mind how close it actually is. Like, this is insane. Holy crap. But no, I mean, my God. Is this her entire fan base? Like, I don't want to say her entire fan base comes straight out of Idiocracy. But from that perspective, it seems like it, because everybody's like, woo, you go, queen, slay it, whatever the fuck that means. Slay it, woohoo, down all the haters that are, trying to look out for your health and whatever. And she's just like, no, I'm famous, I'm perfect, I can do whatever I want. And everybody's like, yeah, you go, girl. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Is this what the VMAs have become? Like, where did we go wrong? When Britney Spears the lazy danced over the stage in 2007, is that when the VMAs went to shit? Like, what the fuck, people? And then it's also just overall her. And then the third thing I want to talk about is what happened a couple days ago at the time it's coming out. A time it's recording, a little longer than the time coming out, but you read it over the internet. She did a performance. So it's back. Let's see. Today is Friday, so it was Wednesday. She did a performance where she goes up on stage, twerks. I don't think anybody needs to see Lizzo twerk out of all people in this world. We don't need to see anybody twerk. But especially Lizzo. Sorry, Lizzo. We don't need that. There's plenty of other dance moves that you can do that are way more appealing than twerking. And this goes for everybody else out there in the music industry. Nobody wants to see it twerk. That's why I'm not twerking right now. Because otherwise I probably would be. But, no, she gets on stage, twerks, and she continues, and she starts and continues to play a flute. And not just any flute. This is an all-glass, custom-made flute for none other than one of the founding fathers of the United States of America, James Madison himself. This is James Madison's own flute from the year 1813. This fucker flute is 209 years old, over 2 centuries old. And Lizzo grabs it like it's nothing and says, do, 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 woo, woo, woo. And she's like, woo, 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 woo. I'm twerking with James Madison's flute. Yeah! Twerking with James Madison's flute. And apparently it was supposed to be like a statement over the Emancipation Proclamation or some bullshit. It's a statement against slavery. And if that's the case, then maybe there's a good... Then there's a little bit of a reason to support it. But... I think there's better things that you could have done than playing what's basically at this point a historical artifact. And this is just not a regular flute, mind you. It's glass. It's glass. All she has to do is sit on the damn thing and it's disintegrated into unbreakable pieces. And she's up there, woo, drop in her butt. Woo, woo. What if it just breaks? Like... It's 209 years old. Put it in a museum. This fucker's too old to be used. Now I get it, right? Like, again, like I said, it's like a statement against slavery. And Lizzo's a big flute player, apparently. Again, literally and figuratively, a big flute player. She's been playing since like 5. I think I read in the article that I read about it. But it didn't matter. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who's playing the fucking flute. You do not play James Madison's old 209-year-old flute. You don't. Not Lizzo, not Cardi B, not any of that piece of artifact needs to stay away from every pop star that has ever existed. Dead, alive, not even born, everybody. Nobody needs to touch that thing except for museum workers. Put it in the museum. And now it's going to be put in a fucking museum not because it's James Madison's 209-year-old flute. It's going to be because Lizzo played it on stage one night and twerked with it. So you're going to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's her ticket to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right there. Like, what the fuck, people? There's so many other things I could say about Lizzo. I just don't like her. She's super overrated. And I think people need to have some sense because she's a fucking idiot who was using this fame and fortune to do whatever the fuck she wants with no consequences. She's not the only one, but she's one of the more prominent figures doing it. And I think it needs to be stopped. She needs to be some sense knocked into her. Fuck that shit. Oh, fuck that.